Hey guys, once again, thank you for support. Guys, I want to talk about basically this Bears offense, this 12 personnel, basically two tight ends, one um, one running back versus closed defenses. Now, what I mean by closed defense is that you have basically, a single high safety and then a defensive back on each side. And you've got basically 8 guys down in the box more than anything else. But really the most important thing is a single high safety. This is going to be the identifier that you're going to be looking at. Now there's basically 3 different types of defenses that are going to be shells that wrap around that. So you're going to have your cover 3 zones or hard flats, cover 3 match, and then obviously cover 1. So we're going to jump into this 12 personnel set. There's some additional plays that we'll have in this scheme, but I want to kind of show you my reads and how I run this particular scheme against specific defenses. So first and foremost, cover 3 match. Cover 3 match, if you're not aware, basically these guys will go vertical. If you got a wide receiver that goes vertical, this guy will match and carry with it. He doesn't play any kind of flat responsibility. Got a third wide receiver, these guys, the yellow hooks will match. But if guys actually go underneath these routes, these hook zones, these flat hook zones, will actually go ahead and just let them go because they know they've got help coming on the backside. So what's good about cover 3 is that it does offer some zone coverages, but also has a lot of matching coverages too. So how I set up the first play is going to be doubles out of the single back wing close, and what I basically like to do with this particular play is set up a curl on the left side and then a return route right here. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to read the following. One underneath route here, which is kind of like a little release, is going to be the 2, and then this return route is going to be the 3. I don't really look to the post. It's just nothing I'm not looking to. Now my read, if I'm seeing basically close coverage, is going to be this defender right here. Now if this defender goes out to the flat or comes down, blitzes, I'm going to try to pop this route right here. If this defender floats up, then I'm going to make my progressions to this route on the back side. And then if defenders are floating down, a lot of times this return route will be available for me. So let's just go ahead and watch this really quick. And what's cool about this is pretty much you can run this against cover 3 in both cover 3 coverages. So you can see this guy right here kind of gets into the passing lane. I'm just going to check it down underneath and actually pick up a few yards. And what's good about it is that you got some blocking with those tight end and wide receiver on the backside. Inside whip, if I got a guy that's usering strong underneath, I can go ahead and use a whip route on the backside. That allows me to attack my opponent that way. Now, let's see if we jump into spacing switch. Spacing switch essentially is the same thing. What I do love about this particular play is that I can flip it, so I can go ahead and have this little wheel route right here. But essentially it's the same type of a thing. This is going to be my first read, and then my second, my third, and then my fourth. Now, one thing I do want to point out to you, based on how the ball is flipped, sometimes these routes will come up and it's going to leave this flat available for an easy read. I'd still stay with my same progressions, and I really don't throw the flat route a lot, but one of the things I discovered when labbing, the flat route does get open against cover 3 match, so that will be available to you. But I still want to go ahead and run the play the same way and make my progressions throw over the top underneath right here. So you can see these guys kind of cover up right here, but the middle of the field is wide open because I've got a little hitch route right here, and then I've got this little wing route right here. So I think I come back to the middle of the field spot and able to go and hit that. Just very easy progressions from left to right with this particular scheme against this closed set. Once again, I'm just going to go ahead and watch. You can see right here, this is covered up, but there's nobody in the running back on the back side, so I can catch that and run. Let's see how many yards I pick up after that. Right there, I'm able to go outside and actually pick up a good chunk of yards, so I like that a lot. What's cool, once again, is that you can flip this play. I think what I did in this is I flipped it, allowing myself to do progressions on the other side. And here's one of the reasons why this curl route is the first read, because if there's certain matching principles are going to take a guy out, a lot of times this little curl route will be available to you. So let's just go ahead and take a look to see if this is the play. Yeah, see how the guys, there's nobody around. This guy's playing like a deep third. He's coming out to the flat. I've got another deep third. He's available for an easy completion. and it turns into a 15-yard gainer right there. If I would have ran the other direction, it probably would have picked up a little bit more. So let's go ahead and jump into dagger. This is a very good play against closed sets, cover 3 type shells. And all I really do is I just do a deep comeback route, and I want to put this defender in conflict. So he's going to have to choose whether he's going to play this deep comeback route or this flat. I don't like the animation too much. I could potentially go ahead and throw this, but I find that the middle safety will play it. So this pass used to be easier in previous Maddens, and it's just gotten a little bit tighter now. But the deep comeback route will always be available, and you can see how this flat defender was out there that I can actually hit. So once again, hitting that deep comeback route, picking up a good 15 yards in that type of situation. So let's just go and jump into it again. I think what happens is this is a play where I try to hit the flat. I force the ball into flat. He kind of gets tied up in a line. You see how he got tied up. But you can see if he gets a clean release, you can throw that. But I'm always looking for the comeback route. I want to get that 15-yard gainer with that play. Here's another good play against cover 3 match. In cover 1, cover 3 zone, I don't necessarily like it, but what's going to happen is this deep post right here should get leverage and should be available for a big touchdown. And what happens is, because I've got a corner on the backside right here, this is going to pull this guy out of position so I can hit this. I'm assuming the more further over you're on this hash, the more space you're going to get on that. I didn't really lab spacing too much with this scheme. I just wanted to try to get some things going against different types of coverages. But you can see how this is wide open. If that was a little bit better pass, deep ball accuracy by Caleb, I probably could have got that for a touchdown. So back at it again. One thing you want to do is make sure that when you streak up, I switched things up right here, streaked up the tight end in this type of situation, and he does pretty much the same thing. I think the wide receiver clears things out a little bit better because that middle safety kind of came up and played that spot. So let's go ahead and jump into mesh. Very simple, really simple. Now I've looked at like matching principles with this running back route. It doesn't really get out clean for me. It used to be a play where you could actually get up some good yards. So really, I'm looking at the midpoint right here. I'm hitting either one of these 2 routes right here over the middle, and then I'm going over the top with mesh. Mesh is just a great play. It is a staple play that, if you've never run it, if you've never had it in your arsenal, you have to put it in your arsenal because it's just a great quick snap play. Now, one thing I do want to point out, and I didn't mention this earlier, when I do jump into mesh, I'm going to take this wide receiver over here. I'm gonna custom route him up just 1 notch. That 5 yards makes a huge difference with these defenders actually floating up and playing into that zone. If I left it like at this level right here, they can still play that zone. By going up by 1 notch, it makes it so the route is still a little bit clearer, but it gives me an opportunity to hit my opponent for 20 yards deep down the middle of the field. So let's go ahead and see right here, mesh with the backside. The defenders actually let that, so cover 3 match, basically they're letting the underneath stuff go by, and you just pick which side you want to go with. But let's see if we hit the tight end, or not the tight end, the wide receiver over the top of the coverage. He gets inside leverage, and I'm able to go ahead and pop that for a good 20-yard gainer. So that's what I like about that particular play. Going into this play is really cool. Smash. This is something I picked up from another YouTuber that was doing a lot of stuff out of the run and gun. And he has said anytime he sees closed coverage, he'll actually go into like this simple smash concept right here and just watch this defender. And if the defender slides out, he'll see if he can actually throw the seam or the corner out or mega progression on the other side. So that's essentially what I'm looking at. If the guy presses, then I know I can hit that little curl route, especially if it's off coverage, just because the defender has to play over the top of that. Just unless someone's playing some type of a trap defense where they're playing like a cover 2 shell that looks like cover 3, for the most part, it's a very simple read. Now, if I don't like the read on this side, I can go back to this side, and I think you can hit this little hitch route, or you'll be able to hit this route off the backside, depending on the matching principles of the defense. So let's go ahead and see right here. This guy's kind of carried. I've got another crowd right here, but there's nobody's by the running back. And if the running back can turn it up, he can pick up an easy 10 yards because there's just nobody in the area. So very, very simple, easy progressions with this defense, against this defense. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to go into hard flats and sky zone. I think I ran more sky zone than hard flats, But really, everything's still pretty much the same with this coverage. I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at that underneath route right here. If the guys float down, I should be able to hit over the top of it, which would be that one route that I said I didn't earlier take, but we'll just go ahead and do a little whip route in this type of situation. So whip route is great against hard flats because the defenders actually have to go outside. They got to play towards the sidelines, so that's why I have that into the scheme. Flip this around. Basically, go with spacing. Similar situation. You can get, if you got coverage over the top, then basically what you could do is you could just hit that little inside route. You know, with the other routes, you've got the concept with the wheel route. I probably wouldn't go to spacing too much against someone who runs a lot of cover 3 sky, but you know, it is a easy progression right there. So you can see that route was available. The guy actually gets inside the leverage against the defender on that type of situation. I think let's see if I flip this play. Not run it stock. Same situation. Right there, you see how that guy actually kind of started floating out and chasing the running back. You just have to wait a second, and it'll open up against cover 3 coverage. So that's what's cool about that. So I think I flip it right here, just to show you what's cool about this gear play is that it's balanced. You can go basically to either side right there. So if I see this guy getting into the lane and I like it, I can look at this route, and then I've also got this route that I can actually hit. So very easy progressions. You're going from left to right to left. Easy, very simple things to use against your opponent. So that's what I do like about this gear play. And I'm blending in a run with this particular formation. I'm not passing out of this formation a lot. It's just jumping to if I see the right front, I'm going to go ahead and jump into that particular play. So right here, go back to this deep comeback route against zone cover 3. And watch once again, similar situation. You got this guy in conflict. He can't play both offensive people, so you either go high or low, depending on whether he's playing hard flats or floating zone coverages. Obviously, he's playing floating zone coverages. You want to go underneath. This is obviously not a formation. We're going to be jumping down at 3rd and long, just because you can do over the top coverage and basically take away any kind of opportunities. So it is a particular offense that you want to run, you know, 2nd down type situations, or if you got like a 3rd and 2, or just short yardage and distance. So let's go ahead and take a look where we go. Back to the same play right here. Here's one thing: if you know a guy's playing a lot of cloud coverages, he's playing zone coverages. If you want to give yourself a better opportunity to get a little bit more depth, you can go ahead and do a C route, because what this guy's going to do is he's going to pull these defenders up, matching him, and it's going to leave this area wide open for that one wide receiver. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that. You'll see what happens is that there's nobody over there, because he has to play deep 3rd. He's got to play deep 3rd. He's got to go ahead and chase this, and this route will be wide open. So I don't necessarily think it's the best against match, because the matching coverage will actually kind of pick up on it, but it is a good thing to do if you got a guy who runs a lot of zone coverages. He's doing zone drops and stuff like that. Mesh, once again, similar situation. We're just going to go ahead and jump into that. Once again, I'm going to notch this guy up one extra spot, and this is where you can get yourself in trouble with basically the mesh concept. You can still throw underneath it if these guys are playing floating zones, but if you're playing hard zones, it's going to be a little bit harder. But that deep in route will be available to you. So it's important that you don't run this play too much. I want to run this play every single time. I want to mix things up a little bit. I don't want to give my opponent picking up on tendencies and reads and watching how that play works. So we're going to go ahead and match, basically bounce that up a notch, and watch for the deep end. These guys are not going to get over the top. I can hit that deep end and pick up some good yards, and sometimes you can rack that for a touchdown. So that's what I do like about the good play. Now I'm going to go into smash right now, and we're going to watch the defender on the outside and see what happens. If he pushes, I'm going to go ahead and hit the little hitch. If he goes out, I'm just going to go make a big progression off to the right side with the smash concept. So once again, setting this up. See, it's very, very quick. I'm just making one audible. I'm snapping the ball, and you've got that little hitch route that you can throw. There's a little matching concept going on. You can actually go and hit that stuff underneath. Now, Cover one hole, basically every single play in this scheme will be cover one hole. They all have man beaters, but here's that curl that we've been using that we haven't hit for cover three and cover three match. That curl is going to be available to you. Once again, everything else is going to be pretty much available to you with this doubles go. So I got the underneath route, I've got the little whip on the back side. So what's cool about that is that it really stretches the defense horizontally if he comes into cover one. I probably would never run cover one based on what I'm seeing in the lab. Here's a play that I might pull in or take out. This is like an auto motion play. This will kind of give you a feel for whether someone's running man or zone coverages. And basically you can hit that deep corner on the backside. It's something I was using last year. Took it out of the scheme and actually put it back in because I just didn't really find that I was using duos successfully in this run scheme. I'm just using dives and wide zones. So what's cool about it is that once again it does pass. It stretches your opponent horizontally. You've got basically that little drag underneath. Here's another play that I might pull out. I just don't find it's very good for me. For every time I actually hit it online, I have somebody that plays it perfectly in defense, and it kind of like it kind of limits the scope of my offense. So I don't know if I'm actually going to keep that in, but that's essentially it. Here he goes, curl flat, simple. You just look at the curl right away, single coverage, inside leverage. You're going to go and throw that curl route. And you can pretty much throw everything else. One thing too, once again, if you got guys running a lot of man coverage, you can basically go ahead and flip that play for either side. Back to this play once again. This is going to toast cover one coverage because you've got that deep comeback route that you can throw. The defender's not going to play that correctly, so you're going to basically go and hit that. You could potentially do the C route too out there, but I think just comeback for me is a staple route that I've been using in my scheme for years. What I don't like is that the blitzing of these guys, and here's one thing about a cover one, that little route, the tight end route, I haven't shown you me hitting it at all, but against cover one, he does get separation, and that really stretches your opponent wide. So that's a good play to go and check. That might be something you want to peek at to see if you got cover one. And then jump into it. Cover 1-2 once again with this figure play, which essentially is this play action play. You've got the release of the wide receiver, and you can throw that for a one-play touchdown opportunity. So you can see Moore is able to get a ball down to the end zone with that. So mesh, once again, similar to cover 3 match. It's a little bit better because these defenders are going to be out of position. And once you get past the whole defender, you just throw the one that beats the rub, so it's just very simple. So if you got a guy that plays cover one against you, this is a great offense to jump into, great play to jump into. You've also got the deep dig on the backside. I looked at throwing the running back. I just find that the running back route doesn't really get some great separation. It could be the team I'm running with, but you might be able to pop it over. I just find that it's better just to get rid of the ball with mesh and look for the deep dig against cover one and not trying to throw that running back route. Running back route used to be money. Previously, it always got a clean release against man coverage, but it seems like it kind of gets hung up, and the defenders actually play a lot tighter than they did last year. So that's one of the things that you want to take in consideration when you're running this. Taking a look at the other play, smash, same thing. This is no different, whether it's cover one or cover three cloud. For the most part, you can run this scheme exactly what you want. So it's all about running it against a closed coverage. You know that, okay, these are specific plays I can run against a closed coverage, unless he's running a trap defense, which would be like a cover 2, showing a cover 3 or something like that. For the most part, it's a situation that he's going to basically give us yards because we're making the reads based on what the shell looks like. So setting this up once again right here, and I've got basically the route. One of the things I did is that if I feel like someone's running a lot of man coverage, I'll smoke up my outside guy to pull the defender down a little bit quicker to give me a read, whether it's man or zone coverage. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one little concept that I like to do. So I'm going to go ahead and push this over. I'll smoke this guy up. If I got a guy playing a lot of man coverage and I want to hit a corner, I'll smoke this guy up to pull this guy out, and then basically go and hit this smash route if he gets a good release. Now if this guy floats, this route will be available for me unless he fills a spot, comes down. So that's just kind of like a simple smash concept that I've been using for years in Madden. So wanted to show you how I go ahead and leverage this. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. I'll be rolling out some more breakdowns on how I run the scheme for you. So thank you for your support. Until next time.